welcome back to this third episode of our vlog, the LISO vlog, and that's the Lean Agile approach to ISO 9001 quality management systems. And today we're going to talk more about the design and development part and requirements in the standard. And I, of course, have my good colleague Jon with me.
Hello, everybody. We really look forward to continue the development part of the standard. And that's what we are talking about today, Andreas, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And of course, it's this informal chit chat, and we will try to continue to dissect the small requirements, the small parts of the standard. But of course, you can't just take one small requirement from the standard and see it as one thing. It's a part of a whole. So you have to still remember that this is a holistic approach to small requirements in the standard and how you actually put that into practice in your reality, in your company.
Exactly. And just for you to give that holistic approach, Andreas, we are merging the ISO 9001 with the lean mindset and direction value flow, and furthermore merge them with agile to get that day-to-day best practice way of working. And that's the key with how we train people in this area, because you get the requirements fulfilled in ISO by applying lean and agile ways of working. And that's what we are trying to do in the center here, where we say that you get an operational continuous improvement culture and best practice way of working by working like this and merging these three pieces nicely together.
Yes, and as I told you a bit earlier here, today we're going to talk about a very, very small part of the standard, and it's the clause 8.3.2c, which totally means nothing more than it's a requirement in the standard, but it's the requirement about the required design and development verification and validation activities. And those activities are we going to talk about from a lean and agile perspective.
Exactly, Andreas. And what you mentioned right from the start here is that by applying a lean agile way of working, you actually secure the requirements. And we should elaborate a bit about that, Andreas.
Yep, we will. And as you can see here in the heading, it's if you work agile, you actually secure the requirement, and this requirement specifically, but also a lot of other requirements in the design and development part of the standard, because agile ways of working is suited for design and development, just by being agile and using the agile processes that there is in here. So what you can think is that if you work in a very nice and neat agile process like Scrum, or you can have SAFe or whatever ways or methods you want to have, you actually secure the requirements by just applying these methods in your organization. So what's your take on this, Jon?
Yeah, if we look at this illustration to the right here, we have in a very simplified way tried to illustrate how an agile organization is connected from strategy and development, which is the clause we are discussing today, all the way down to where the work is actually done by the teams. And as you see in the top, we prioritize strategic initiatives because those being the most important for the organization should go first. And that will find its way down to the operational priorities that needs to be undertaken in order to get that strategy flying. And that's where we come to synchronization and do the right things at the same time, because the operational priorities in an agile way means that the teams will collaborate on developing that feature or that solution they are about to do. And by synchronizing the teams, each team can rely on the other by formal dependencies by the teams, and they can work in a cadence in order to do all the necessary work related to developing whatever the organization is doing. So this illustration is actually encapsulating the requirement in ISO that you have top-level strategic initiatives prioritized, you make them operational, you synchronize the work needed by engaging the teams in dependencies on each other and also by the team's individual work. So that is really doing the right things at the right time. Keywords here is prioritize, synchronize, validate, and review. And Andreas, you said something in one agile setting using Scrum, for example. We have something called sprint review.
Exactly, and that is a way. If you apply the Scrum process on this thinking, on what are the activities we have in the Scrum process, you can clearly see that after a sprint, which is a period of time, where you actually develop something of value to the customer or to the internal customer, and you can see that when you're done with this period, you have something that we call sprint review. And in this sprint review, you actually display and have this part where you show what you have done. I mean, Scrum or agile ways of working is not only for the software development parts, it's also, you can develop hardware, you can develop whatever, because it's the process that you have to apply, and you have to use it in whatever context that you have. And it's the process that is the important, and the roles in this process and the activities that you do. And they are actually securing this requirement that we are discussing here, the activities. How do you secure the activities that you deliver the right thing? And you have several roles in here, which is the Scrum team, and you have the product owner, and the product owner is the spokesperson for the customer and the behavior and the requirements that is coming from the customer. So at the end, at the sprint review, you actually are making sure that you are delivering whatever you're supposed to deliver, and that it is accepted, and that you can find new improvements in either the process or the product or the thing that you are delivering. So this is an ongoing process that is moving forward, and is synchronized with other teams. If you have a large, let's say that there's a more complex thing that you're developing, then you probably will need more than one team, and then we're going into a more complex contexts, but the process are there, and it's the most important thing is to remember that if you rely on the process.
To sum it a bit up, we can say that no matter if you are a small organization or a large organization, you have to navigate through strategic initiatives that needs to be prioritized, and these prioritized strategic initiatives will be handled in the organization by prioritizing what kind of actions are needed to fulfill that particular strategic initiative, And again, that will be synchronized among teams. If you are part of a larger organization with multiple teams, they need to synchronize in order to work in best ways to implement and develop whatever strategic initiative the organization is set out to do. And by prioritizing on each level, synchronizing on each level, validate and review on each level in the organization, we get built-in quality and we get an aligned organization working with the same type of issues from their own, so to say, level to fulfill the needs of the customers and the organization's business. So that is probably the important thing related to this particular chapter in ISO, to be able to develop by synchronizing, prioritizing, validate, and review. And the agile answer to that is illustrated in the illustration to the right.
Indeed. And it shows that it's the if you work with a proper Scrum process or an agile process, you will actually apply to this requirement because it's about the activities that is needed, and those activities that are needed to verify and validate the design of the and the result of the design. It's built in to the process.
Agile and lean ways of actually do work, cooperate, prioritize, thinking in plan, do, check, adjust ways of working fulfills all these requirements. And that's music to me. And I hope that the listeners and viewers also see that the connections between the requirements in ISO is met to the full by actually working in lean agile ways.
Indeed it is, and that's the as you said. It sounded like the words were coming from my mouth. It's music to my ears to see that the requirements are actually fulfilled by just properly working with lean and agile methods, and have the right culture and all these things, and using the methods and the processes and the ceremonies in the right way, and all these things. And in future episodes, we will talk a lot about this, about culture, about what is improvement actually, and how do you do it in practice. And but that's for future episodes. We will continue to dissect this design and development for a couple of more episodes to come.
We will, and we hope that you will follow us. And also we may have a sort of extra service, don't we, Andreas? Isn't it that whoever would like to discuss with us topics related to this episode or agile and ISO and lean together, you are free to get a free hour actually, where Andreas and me will help you to see how, from your perspective, you can make the first step and learn how to actually day by day fulfilling the requirements in ISO. So we will give you a 1 hour free chat or one-to-one discussion if you would like to see how this is actually working from your perspective.
Wow, 1 hour free brain picking.
Yeah, exactly. So,
good. And of course, if you're interested in these parts and how to actually live the requirements in the ISO standard and without unnecessary bureaucracy or paper documentation and things, you can take this opportunity, have a one-to-one chat, brain pick us, and let's take it from there.
Yep. Thank you everybody for listening and viewing to this vlog, and we hope you are prepared for the next episodes as well. And remember, this is our episode number 4, I think.
No, it's number 3.
It's
number 4
3.
will be
number 3. So
be the next episode.
the next episode is number 4, easy thinking. But we also have 2 others out there already for you to view if you would like to do so. So please turn into our other episodes and follow us. That would be nice. So thank you very much for viewing and listening to us.